Hey everybody, Run On here for possibly the last episode of Vatgrown Massacre. So on last episode, we destroyed this outpost here. This was the fourth outpost in a row in a quick succession. And let's just say that the Vatgrown elders have deemed our esteemed survivors as fulfilling their blood oath, and now we may leave for the exit. So, on this episode, that is exactly what I will attempt to do: is to exit swiftly, without much delay. That will be the attempt, at least. But my weary travelers here need a bit of rest first. I'm not even going to bother looking to see if there's anything to salvage here. I don't care if I'm leaving the map. It really doesn't matter to me. I will take my turrets though. Oops, that is absolutely not what I meant to do. Taking the turrets because our high quality plasteel turrets must not be found by enemies to be put to use ever against our heroes here. Alright, so I'm going to reform the caravan and start marching back. But what I'm going to do here is, because I'm prepping an exit, I'm going to start loading up, let's say, 50 components and 800 steel and maybe 1500 chem fuel. And this is so that we can create pods halfway to the AI exit. Rather than do the shipbuilding win, we'll just use the ship that's here. I recall reading in the patch notes that they changed it so that you had to defend the ship, but I think that's in next patch. I'm fairly certain. I don't often use the ship exit, so it could have been this patch, but I don't think it is. Therefore, I won't concern myself too much about it. So I'll be taking Kasaja, because she's also Vatgrown, even though she's not a warrior. She comes with us, and leaving all the thralls behind. And that will end the story. In fact, I might go and bury the thralls. You know? Sort of like how Vikings would be buried with their own thralls occasionally. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that might be what I do. Just to give this whole thing a proper ending. It's a little dark, but the Vatgrown massacring everyone has been a bit of a dark story as well, so a dark ending for a dark story might be fitting. But I've got to say that, yeah, I'm a little tired of raiding. The raids are repetitive, boring, and don't give a lot of good rewards. The events that you get are a lot more intriguing than just the raids themselves. The raids themselves, even Tynan has said, the developer, if you're unaware, that the buildings in the raiding system are sort of placeholders for more in-depth raid system later on. I'm not exactly sure what that means or how it will look or any of that, but he did say that the generated buildings and all that are not really the final copies of what he intends to be, quote unquote, a raid. So that gives me some hope that we can get some much more intriguing raids sometime in the future. Because for right now, the raiding system is a little uninvolved. It's just battle of the numbers, really, where there's not very much that a player can do other than just to have very powerful raiders that really affects the outcome one way or another. You're not really given I mean, when you think about when the player is sieged, I don't think that... I mean, it's possible that you could show up to a raid with 20 people and siege them kind of the way the AI sieges you. You know, that's obviously a possibility. I can see that working, even. But the way siege parties work, where they're given time to... Like, I just don't think... I guess what I'm trying to say is the amount of resources it takes for, like, the pirates to siege us with, like, turrets and all that. It's very... And then we go and attack their home base or whatever. Their home base is about as wealthy as their siege, which doesn't honestly make that much sense. I suppose that's what I was trying to ramble in my explanation there. Okay, so they're still loading the pods with the materials that we're going to want. And obviously, if I chose to make a ship, God knows I have enough plasteel, steel, and components. It would just take time, more time. And you all, if you've seen my other videos, you've seen I've built ships before. This is not nearly as challenging as, like, let's say, ice sheet shipping. Ice sheet shipping was in a league of its own in difficulty. So I'm not all that worried about showing that I can build a ship. I mean, it's really not challenging at all, to be fair. Ooh, some exotic goods. I always like me some exotic goods. I'm getting all my bionic legs now. Now that I seemingly don't really need them. Shrug. Yeah, I don't mind. I can still trick out my survivors here before they exit the planet, just for fun. 'Cause I now have loads of bionics. And they're almost home. They'll be home in half a day. So I think I'm going to turn off all the plasteel drills. Because we don't so much need plasteel at the moment. We need just regular old steel. Why? Wow, there's a lot of suppliers coming. And I will keep trading, because I will keep buying the same old stuff. That being components. This hay grass is really not getting picked up, is it? Thrall there, Thrall number 1, I should say, doing a pretty good job of getting through all our slag pile. I might not even have slag left on the map, or maybe a few pieces here and there, but oh yeah, here's one. I was pretty good about cleaning up all the slag. Yeah, there's 6 more chunks there. It's not that I haven't littered. God knows there's lots of litter all over the map. But it's not slag litter. Alright, so the Vatgrown are home. We're going to go ahead and install legs and an eye in Isith, which is going to make her more or less just about as bionic as you can be. Got no problem with that. Let's allow for better meds just because we can. Alright, so here's one of the legs. Oh, you know what? Let's forget that leg. I forgot Tannen has a regular old peg leg. So let's go ahead and remove his leg and give him a bionic leg. Because Isith with a bionic one leg will already be faster, despite the fact that she's missing a toe. Alright, Manhunter, Cougars, and a lot of them. Alright, animals. Now that you're home, let's put you all away. I don't think they're going to go for my dromedaries, but I'm going to put the dromedaries in safety anyway. Not the smartest vector of attack there. Cougar's deciding to run through pretty much every trap I had set out. And now they're... Ooh, Agio was at a base. Let's get inside Agio. Is anyone out of base? Anyone else? No, not that I see. Alright, I do believe we're done. We'll have Agio self-tend. Tannen now has a cut-off leg. Let's go ahead and install that bionic one that we were planning on doing. And I think after that, everyone will be enhanced and not not incapable of anything anymore. I mean, Isith, of course, just is missing a toe, but her moving is now 116 rather than 120. So she's not slower because of it or anything. And we have a pain stopper. Okay, we're missing a toe, but we're not in any pain. I don't think anyone has pain other than the thrall number 1 from that stab scar. But I'm not putting a pain stopper in the stab scar. Or to the thrall number 1. That's just not something I'm going to be doing. Alright, so let's not drag this out. Now we have definitely some crazy powerful super soldiers. Let's get them moving. Okay, why aren't we loading this? Thrall number 1. I want you primarily hauling. Oh, unloading the dromedaries. Yeah, I could have just dropped all the stuff. But I'll let you unload it. Alright, I'm not sure why the pods are still not ready to load. They looked kind of done. I'm gonna load these 4. Just it'll be easier than trying to select the others. Alright, so we'll say 60 components, 1500 and 900 steel. And I think I'll just go ahead and launch, even if they don't fully load it correctly or whatever. Because there was enough in there to make the launch worth it, I think. Okay, so that's done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and send 2 of them, Tannen and Isith, ahead of the group with all the survival meals, or many of them, I should say. And we're going to go set up a pod waystation of sorts, because I think it can pod basically halfway there and then pod again for the remainder. I believe I'll be able to do that, or at least walk the remainder if I can't pod the remainder. Alright, so Tannen and Isith. They're still loading in progress. I don't think they are. I'm gonna go ahead and launch. We're missing some survival meals. Alright, so we're not gonna get all the way there. Actually, yeah, we're not gonna get all the way there, obviously. It's a bit further than that. But we can make multiple trips. That shouldn't be that much of a problem. Right. Immobile caravan, that's fine. We weren't planning on really caravanning anyway. Alright, so that's waystation number 1. Let's go ahead and launch. And we have a raid. Oh, that will be funny. They are very ill-equipped to deal with us, that is for sure. Now we don't want our waystation to get destroyed, so I might actually pod some weapons or turrets to protect our waystation. You don't even have to finish them off. Just get back to what you're doing. Oops. Well, Mr. Buck, it's very unfortunate for you that you self-tamed. Alright, so that's waystation number 1 of 2. I think I'll needed 1 more, and then we'll be there. I might not even worry about the protection. If I have to set up another one of these, it honestly wouldn't be the end of the world. I'll let them sleep it out. Of course, we're leaving in a volcanic winter. It's kind of fortunate timing, if you ask me. Although volcanic winter, of all the possible weather effects, that one's pretty tame, I'd say. Almost everything else is so much worse. Alright, I'm going to get them to stockpile it up, because anything we can't bring, I want to somewhat protect. Even though it's just flimsy walls. Flimsy steel walls, I mean. A little bit of protection goes a long way. That looks about full. Let's launch. We'll bring 500 of the camp fuel and 40 of the meals. And that way we can bring these meals in. Alright. So there we go. Launch this group. Maybe we'll need 3. Let's go ahead and find us on the road again. And obviously what will be required is we'll need to bring steel to the waystations each. So if we zoom in here, we obviously need some more steel here before we can launch. So it's you know, it's not super fast. Caravanning might have been more efficient. I don't know. I don't really care to speculate. I'm just doing it this way. We're going to set up a very familiar looking waystation here as well. Now we might need some steel, and fortunately there is plenty of it here. We can also ship it too, but our colonists are probably a little bored. So one thing I could start doing is hauling this steel into our stockpiles, because, well, to be frank, it's, alright, let's launch this group of pods with 50 more components, which is probably way more than we ever need, and steel. You know, we could do more steel than that. I'm going to have them haul this steel away. What are we doing over here? So the more of these waystations I set up, the laggier the game will become. As anyone that's had multiple little colonies, you'll probably know that to be very true. And somewhat frustrating if you want like a rather large empire. It's slow and laggy. Okay, so we're mining for the remainder of that. So what I'm hoping, oh yeah, we have lots and lots and lots of fuel here. No worries about that. We have a psychic ship here. It's very nice. I might have enticed them into a fight already. I suppose we'll see. Let's check up on these guys. They've got one of the pods going. Yeah, alright. This Scyther is definitely... they're all attacking us. Now, the annoying thing about this is they're going to set a lot of stuff on fire. But that's just the way it's going to go. Yeah, don't break that. Okay, one's down. Thrall's kind of mooning the enemy here. Alright, so these fell asleep mid-construction. Here we still have a bunch of mechs that can't figure out what they want to do. Trying to get them to fight and walk in. I don't really want a psychic ship driving me insane while I try to get off this planet. Just go ahead and take the fight to them. Tired of waiting. Centipede's gotten 2 shots off. He's pretty much almost dead. There he goes. This one I'm going to wait until he's deep into the trap. Oh, don't leave. Alright. Done and done. Gonna let them all put the fires out. You three this way. Oh, raid. Alright. Not in home area. Well, we can change that. It is funny to be in these kind of fights with them because God knows the enemies don't really stand a chance. We are war-hardened warriors, and we're fighting like dudes with like Molotovs. It's like, what a joke. What an absolute joke. But take it all seriously, so that your guard's never down. Okay, so we have almost all the pods we need there. and then we can start the loading process and get ourselves to where we need to go. Of course, I need to bring 3 more people over, but let's go ahead and launch a group of 2. They might even fit into 1. Yeah. Bring 27 of the 36 meals. Let's get loaded. Hi, Sith. Alright, so if we launch this group, yes. So looking at it, we will need another waystation. So I'm going to cancel this load and go ahead and have them mine a bit more. Now the mining's probably not that important, so I'm going to go ahead and prep the funeral. Alright, so manage areas, new animal area, expand animal area 2. I think you know what's about to happen. Animals go to 2. Mastema. Let's get that power switch on. And I think we will give you... No, not the awful one. The superior. Send all these guys off to the afterlife. Not Yukasaja. Alright, they're going to want to put the fires out, so I'm going to put the humans on the edge. Where are you going, dromedary? Oh, you're fleeing? Yeah. I know. It's weird. I'm setting you on fire. And for all of these thralls, let's just turn off firefighting. Now, Mastema's already cooking up some heat stroke here. So I have to be careful about how long I even keep her in this room. Yeah, she's starting to get burned. Alright, these thralls, let's get them back in there. There's not a lot of organic matter in there to have burn, which is the issue. Alright, let's do a little bit more work. That calf is definitely going to die. I want to set some more on fire. Having the heater on fire will help. Alright, so everyone's going down now. I got Mastema out of there. We'll have her go heal up. Thrall's still trying to clean up, which is kind of funny. One of the Thralls, I should say. I suppose your name isn't Thrall. That's a cacophony of noise there. So our remainder here, I guess we still have a dromedary. Our remainder here will load up the rest of the components and chem fuel. Let's go ahead. We can just really use as many pods as we please here, because we are kind of abandoning this and not looking back. So let's take all the meals, all the components, all the chem fuel, all the steel. There's really nothing else I want to bring. I could bring all the silver, but I don't even care about silver. Let's get out of here. Saying I missed a dromedary, but I think it's just this one. It's a very strange noise there. Definitely have to not look. It's making too much noise when I stare at it. Alright, so they're finally down except for this one last dromedary. It's about to be downed. I don't know how it's surviving a 2,000 degree room. Like, there it goes. Alright, so they were mining their hearts out. We'll go ahead and steel, chem fuel components, and 18 of the meals, as well as them, and have them ship out from here. And this will be our last little way station. At this point, we might need to do some chem fueling on the fly. I mean, this episode might run a little longer than I wish or would like, but we'll see. All right, so structure is going to be what you've seen a few times already, just because I'm uncreative, let's say. Alright, so the fires are just about done. And they're starting to load themselves up. Getting the remainder of the chem fuel. Okay, I think they're done. Survival meals missing? Yeah, that's fine. And we'll have them travel to the first way station. Alright. At this point, there's really no turning back, so I'm going to go abandon the HQ. I no longer need to render all that stuff. For these guys, they're already constructors. So they need to sleep. That's fine. Okay, there's our pods. And I might be able to just bring the fuel along with me. We'll see. It might be possible that I don't need to do anything. Isith and 10 and just need to wait, basically. That I think will possibly be the case. So while we wait, let's do a little mining. A little extra steel. Okay, so if we launch this group, let's have them... We need to get as much steel and chem fuel, maybe 600, down towards the end as possible. So Kasaj will stay behind, but they'll load up most of the chem fuel and steel to get moving. Could help load the pods there, Kasaja. But no, you're not doing that. Okay, so they finished. We can launch this group here. Alright, so Kasaja here has the lovely task of making sure that we bring as much as we can with us. So right now I'm just going to have her build one pod and see if we need more than one. I don't actually know the answer. And you are constructing, but you'll start. Yeah, you're mining, but you'll start constructing in a sec. Okay, so if am I capable of bringing everything that's here? Because anything we don't bring now won't be brought ever. Is kind of the long and short of it. So I can't bring everything. I'm not entirely sure if it's worth making another pod, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, you guys should be constructing, not mining. Oh, you don't have components. Alright, well, Kasaj is coming with the components, so that won't be an issue. So let's load this up. Area revealed. Guess that's you guys. Alright, I probably don't need more steel, or much more steel than that. So I'm going to tell them to stop. Alright, so now that we have these two pods, we can bring her and pretty much everything. No issues. She has a lot of pod loading to do, but... And if I really wanted to, I could like break down that pod launcher for a few more resources, but I'm not going to nickel and dime my way there. To be frank, I don't think I'll even need to do that. Almost done. Alright, we left some fuel behind, but whatever. Launch this group. Join up with the others. And let's go ahead and abandon this one. Bye-bye waystation. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is set them all to anything, just because we don't really have like a good sort of regimented, structured anything right now. I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of, you know, get moving, get things done. And I got about 15 minutes left in the hour. I'm probably going to be able to finish this. Probably. Unless some unforeseen developments occur, but getting there. Alright, so these guys are up. There's a little bit more mining I have them queued to do, which will mean they'll be finishing up the little waystation base. Alright, actually, if you want to go for a walk, yeah. Just to make sure we have a little bit of joy. That never hurts. Okay. So we need more fuel here, but the waystation's built, which is the main concern. Let's go ahead and set the fuel levels of these. So they'll be joining them there. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll try to bring as much of this steel that I've amassed, just in case I need it. Definitely the components and the fuel. So I don't really want to be reinventing the wheel where I end up. And by that I mean I don't want to have to like create more chem fuel or anything like that. So let's launch this group. 300 fuel, 50 components. You know, let's all just go. Let's just get the hell out of here. We have steel where we're headed, so I don't really need to bring the steel. I can always mine it if need be. I'll just max it out. And this gets all the people to where they need to be. I think that's just worth it. Oh, you know what? Cancel load. I didn't see that I had a little bit more fuel out there. Alright, so transport pod. Fine. There. Launch. Bring all the fuel, all the components, all the meals, and as much steel as we can. There we go. This will be an extra 100 and almost 150 fuel, just in case. Alright, launch the group. Oh, that's weird. Yeah. Alright, launch the group and join Isith and Tannen. Abandon that way station. And here we are. I think what I'll do here is... Can 3 pods support all 5 people? No. I need another pod. Some floors. Gotta live in style, right? Set the fuel targets up. They already are. Let's refuel the launcher. And create the transport pod. Now if I let's just load them all up, because I can always unload them. I just want to see how far I can get. Yeah, I can get there. And I will. In just a moment. Alright, that's enough of the meals. It looks good to me. Launch the group. To the AI ship. And, take off. Next alpha, or rather in 18, taking off will be a little bit more involved, as I said. Yeah. So, let me just cut the game volume a little bit. So, thank you for watching this 20-part series of Vatgrown Massacre. Sorry I wasn't able to, or rather not able, but sorry I didn't clear the board. But I think given enough time, it was a very doable task, as I showed. Slowly, my soldiers became more and more bionic and more capable of clearing out villages. I am a little eager, although, well, yeah, I'm not sure I have a good idea of what I want my Alpha 18 playthrough to be. Obviously, it wouldn't be modded because there aren't really mods for it yet, but I'm eager to sink my teeth into that, get better at some of the Alpha 18 mechanics, so that I can bring you a pretty decent video of it. I really like Alpha 18. It kind of fills out the world quite a lot. So I'm excited for it. So thank you all for watching the Vatgrown Massacre, and if you have suggestions for future videos, other games, feedback of any kind, please let me know. I'm pretty good at responding to that kind of stuff, and I will see you all in next series. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Adios, everyone.